I'm Nancy Hopkins, and I'm Director of Programs at the Presidential Precinct, which is sponsoring this event this morning. We're a Charlottesville-based nonprofit organization that's a consortium among UVA, William & Mary, Montpelier, Monticello, Highland, and Morven Farm. And together, our mission is to invest in the next generation of global leaders through collaboration, education, and networking. And we do that in large part by bringing folks here to Central Virginia for those types of programs, and we also have a very robust digital network that we use to keep in touch with folks after they leave our programs here. I'd like to introduce Sean Carr, who is the Executive Director of the Batten Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation here at the School of Business, to say a few words of welcome as well.
Great. Thanks, Nancy. Good morning and welcome to all of you. As she said, my name is Sean Carr. I'm the Executive Director of the Batten Institute for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. It's an institute dedicated to entrepreneurship and innovation here at the Darden School, but we really do have a very open view in terms of our interest in empowering not only the next generation of entrepreneurial leaders, but even the ecosystem around us. And I'm so pleased, particularly the fellows, those of you who have been involved in this really, really terrific program, had the opportunity through this, Charlottesville being a city hub, to be here. Now, of course, we're very proud of the fact that the Darden School was recently ranked by the Financial Times number 3rd in the world for entrepreneurship programs among MBA programs. But I think more relevant for you is knowing that, and perhaps you've already been told this, but Entrepreneur Magazine ranking Charlottesville the 4th best city in the country for being an entrepreneur. So you picked a great spot, or you landed in a great spot. And also for those of you interested in entrepreneurial finance, you might have noticed that the National Venture Capital Association earlier this year had identified Charlottesville as the single fastest growing destination for venture capital dollars in the United States. So there's a lot going on here, and I think the composition of the judges, whom you'll spend some time with today, kind of tells you about that. It's a really rich and diverse environment for entrepreneurial activity. So again, on behalf of the Darden School, the University of Virginia, the Batten Institute, I do welcome you. Thank you for having this event here. We're happy to host it. And soon I'll be talking with Jim Murray. But for now, I'll just turn it over back to Nancy to say a few words about today's program.
That's right. Good. Thank you. So this morning we're going to hear from 10 dynamic entrepreneurs from 9 different countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. And they're here in the U.S. on a 6-week program sponsored by the White House and the State Department. And it's called YLAI, the Young Leaders of the Americas Initiative. And this is a signature investment in leadership, entrepreneurship, and regional partnerships out of the White House and state. And while they're here in Charlottesville, these folks have spent 4 weeks embedded in some of Charlottesville's leading companies and nonprofit organizations. And I wanted to give special thanks today to those host organizations and companies for all that they've done to support our YLAI Fellows. Those companies are Pasta Valente, Millie Coffee Roasters, My Chocolate Shop, Elaine B. Jewelry, Osh Shoes, the Oakhurst Inn, PB&J Fund, the Local Food Hub, Montpelier's Robert H. Smith Center for the Constitution, Building Goodness Foundation, and the Center for Nonprofit Excellence. And these fellows are part of a broader cohort of 250 fellows who are here in the U.S., and they will all convene next week in Washington, D.C. for a building summit. On Fridays, this group has spent some time at the iLab in a webinar and also interacting with UVA faculty and founders to talk about entrepreneurship. And I wanted to give special thanks to David Tooby, director of the iLab, who was not able to be here with us this morning, for his fantastic support, and also to Sean and our Batten and Darden colleagues for everything they've done to support this program. It's been such a pleasure to have these fellows here and to engage in this two-way learning experience. So in terms of the format that we're going to follow this morning, each fellow will have 4 minutes to make their pitch, and we're going to try to stick very strictly to time limits. If they hit 4 minutes, a gentle chime will ring, and that means it's time to finish your sentence and turn to the judges for the Q&A. We'll have 3 minutes of Q&A, and then the next fellow will make their pitch. And fellows will be scored according to a standard 40-point rubric that is being used across the country today in 21 city hubs that are hosting YLAI Fellows. So it's a standard rubric for all the YLAI Fellows. And the winner of today's pitch will go on to pitch in Washington, D.C. next week with the winners of the 21 city hubs. Our winner today will receive a hearty round of applause and an award from the Presidential Precinct and the warm glow of being a winner. Next week there will be money on the table, investment funds for the winner of that pitch competition in DC. So, and then after the fellows pitch, we'll take a short break. Our judges will deliberate, and they'll come back and give some feedback, and then the runner-up and the winner will be announced. Okay, so now I'll introduce our 4 judges who have kindly agreed to assist us this morning. First, we have Deb McMahon, who is president and CEO of Sitent, which is a company that helps nonprofits, associations, healthcare organizations, and for-profits foster and grow their e-learning businesses. Deb is active in the Alliance for Continuing Education in the health professions, and has also served in volunteer roles in our entrepreneurship and nonprofit community, including at the Paramount and with the Charlottesville Venture Group. Thank you, Deb. Alex Euler is the investment director at the Center for Innovative Technology, which creates technology-based economic development strategies to accelerate innovation, imagination, and the next generation of technology and tech companies. Alex has managed a major tech incubator program, worked for a biotech trade association, and has been involved in several startups in the life sciences and social media areas. Kate Collier is the owner of Feast, a specialty food store here in Charlottesville that has a strong emphasis on local sourcing. And Kate's interest in promoting local economic and social development led her to start thinking about local food systems, prompting her to found the local food hub. And she also serves on the board of the Urban Agricultural Collective of Charlottesville. And then we have David Newkirk, who is an experienced consultant, organizational leader, and educator. David was the head of executive education here at Darden, which provides professional development for senior executives. And he has worked all over the world in leadership positions at Booz Allen and Hamilton, American Express, and other leading companies. Thank you again for your service this morning.